Go ahead, just remember to state your name and affiliation, and please speak up too, so we can hear you.
Eric Scopel, 24/7 Sports. You spoke to growth there a moment ago. I guess just what kind of growth have you seen at the quarterback position this offseason, and how far into the fall would the competition get at the deadline? What you'd like to
Yeah, I think
I'm really excited. Just at the end of the day, you want to get quarterbacks who program
life, and
I think we have
football
multiple
was
guys that can do
unlike
that.
anything I've seen.
All the time.
He was friends with everybody on the team.
Competitors, but probably more than anything, I've been excited
what year
with
you
their
were. He
passion
was
for
going to reach out
improvement.
and learn your story and make sure you
elite.
win.
To be
So
a
he's just a
special
special
player,
kid,
you have
and
to go
the
above
best way we
and
can do it
beyond.
is
All those
just
guys,
finding a way to honor
really
him
contributed
during
to
the
the
season
success
and
of
dedicating
what work they
everything
did this summer when people weren't watching.
we all got to strive to live like
Assessing
Spencer
their efforts. Those guys are doing a lot
and live
of
every day to the fullest.
Utah went through a couple similar tragedies last season. Have you talked to any of those guys in their program that maybe helped you, try to given you some direction on how to lead your guys going forward?
Yeah, we talked a little bit yesterday with our quarterback and one of the defensive backs. I think it's just, it's tough. It's one of the hardest things to go through is, losing a teammate, losing a brother, really.
Yeah, honestly, we haven't spent
So just finding ways to cope with it. I know it's not going to get any easier. It's always going to be weighing on our hearts. So I'm
really familiar with.
we really tried to ask them for advice, but just as a team, we got to lean on each other and just be there for each other every day.
DJ, I know the connection was different with you Sacramento guys, you and Croc and Spence in particular. What did Spence mean to you? Because I know it was just different with you guys.
He was definitely a brother. Like when I was playing tight end, we roomed a lot. So we roomed together a lot. We spent a good amount of time together. It was happy when I first seen him. He came to visit. He just was juiced that I didn't know I played him my senior year. That I came and got him from behind 40 yards out. He's like, bro, that was me. And I didn't know. So it was a great time. So when it hit you, it's kind of like, man, you lost a brother, but you also can easily turn that into motivation.
DJ, how would you describe Coach Laney for the time you've been around?
I mean, he's a great dude, authentic, great to be around. He knows how to push you the right way.
Changes that are happening.
Both of you guys, this is your extra year of eligibility. Can you maybe just explain your thought process of why you guys chose to use it and how is this going to benefit you this season and beyond?
For me, it's like I love Oregon, so it wasn't a hard decision to come back, especially when we seen who the new coach that was and we met with them. I was like, it's a no-brainer for me, especially my guys. A lot of the older guys did come back, so it was an easy decision for us just because we all love each other and we know we can do this next season or this season.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as DJ where, it's been my dream to, play for this university since I was a kid. So any opportunity to, extend that, be able to extend my education, get my master's degree, I think it would have been dumb for me to, leave and, walk away from that. So especially with Coach Laney coming in, Coach Clem, it's going to be a great year of development and, just getting ready.
Alex and DJ, can you talk about the NIL and how much has it benefit student athletes at Oregon?
Yeah, he's Mr. NIL, so
No, it's been definitely good just because, in a normal football season, we don't have time to work or nothing like that, even in the off season. And the stipend is to an extent enough to cover rent, but you can't do anything outside. And it kind of sucks that we weren't able to monetize it anyway. So now that we can, it definitely helps you to be able to live a little bit more better quality life than we were before.
Yeah, I think for me, not as marketable as some of the other guys, but I think one cool thing that we do as an offensive line unit is we make these T-shirts. We work through this company called Hog Academy, and they make us these T-shirts with our cartoon faces on them. We're going to be dropping them here pretty soon. If anyone wants to check my Twitter, I don't go on there a whole lot, but that's going to be my post for the year. But we ended up donating the money to Food for Lane County, so it's a really cool opportunity for us to just kind of work as a unit, and we're just stronger together. So,
DJ, in the follow-up, do you have any opportunities that relate to the NIL that's come up so far for you?
Yeah, so I got some deals with Instagram. My Instagram account is the God TAUHTOD. On YouTube, they just really DJ Johnson TV on there. But I I got some things with like some Division Street. They work with football a little bit, so I've been in contact with them, Snapchat, stuff like that. But definitely looking to get more involved with the ones in Oregon and Eugene specifically, a little bit more local.
DJ, what led to the cutting of the dreads and no longer the Predator?
No, that's never a thing. That's one of the things I also want to make sure that like the apex predator mentality is not connected to anything outside of what's on the inside. But it was something I've been planning on doing. I just finally did it.
Wasn't a branding thing where the movie has the trademark. Because Charlemagne has the God, so you're really up against it.
No, it wasn't nothing like that.
DJ, last 2 years you played at least some bit of tight end. Just what was it like this offseason going into this year as a full-time defensive end?
I mean, it was good to be able to compete for the team, especially when it was needed, but it feels great to be able to focus on one position, especially for a full offseason. So the last couple of years with COVID and all that stuff, we didn't really had a full offseason in the spring, so like to have a full spring game at one position feels great.
You guys just brought it up, but you haven't had a full true training off season in 2 years till now. Do you guys just physically feel better, more mentally prepared for a season?
Yeah, I think it's the best part about it is, with the restrictions stuff the past 2 years, it's been hard to, find time to come in and get some player-led practice stuff done. But we were able to do that all summer and some during the spring. So for us, that was huge because you can get, we got like 10 or 12 practices in, just us players out there. Obviously the coaches are gone and they can't be out there. So for just the players to do that, I think it says a lot about the program and where we're at. So I think that was really good for us. And in previous years, the past 2 years, it's been hard to get that organized with the restrictions and stuff. But for us, I think that's been the biggest difference. Getting a full off season is huge because that's when the team really comes together. So I think the whole team is ready and locked in for fall camp.
How do those practices get organized? Who's you as a veteran? It's you guys or?
Yeah, I mean they've been pretty standard for like when the last time we had them was like 2019. So for us, we remember how that was. So we kind of get a script going and. We have our indie drills that we know what to do. We do them every day. So for us, it's just doing that, and then finding time to go offense versus defense, and then get one-on-one, O-line versus D-line, one-on-one, wide receiver versus DB, and just getting that competition because those reps they'll add up. And if you can get 10 practice, we go for like an hour and a half, so. You can get 10 of those practices in before you start fall camp. You're already 10 practices ahead of some other teams who aren't doing it.
You went to Masterminds this summer, right?
Yeah.
What did you get out of it? Because I know it was you, Steven, Jackson, obviously Brock was there.
Yeah.
Polo deal. What did you get out of it?
It was an unbelievable experience getting to talk from some NFL Hall of Famers, NFL greats, and guys that are currently in the NFL. Getting to talk to like Eric McCoy, talk to Olin Cruz, talk to Ryan Jensen, Mark Schlereth, Steve Hutchinson. Just a whole list of guys and like Brock. Like you just get to hear guys that but you may have not like picked their brain on. The intricacies to offensive line play. So it was 2 sessions. I probably had 12 pages of single space notes. So I got like a little encyclopedia for me to look at before and during the season.
Can you talk about going to Georgia and playing Georgia? Can you talk about going to Georgia and playing Georgia?
I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. We're not too focused on that right now. We're focused on just, camp is around the corner. So just focus on connecting as a team and getting ready for that game.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. We're focused on camp right now. It's, starts a week from today. So we're really excited, just to get that started and, just get the season rolling. But, like DJ said, we're just focused on fall camp and, the next practice ahead of us.
Thank you.
Alex and DJ, I'm sure you've been asked this about NIL, but my question to you is, what is one purchase that you really wanted to make when you first got your first check, or what's one thing that you guys really wanted to buy when you got your first NIL check?
So something I'm recently looking into is getting a house. So that's definitely something I'm very big in business and looking at like how to sustain financials.
For me, I don't buy a lot of clothes, shoes, anything. So I just invest mine in stocks and stuff. So that's I'll get to enjoy it later in life when I have that compound interest and stuff.
We're hearing a lot about NIL collectives doing stuff like almost salaries, right? I think just like $25,000 a player. And then you talk to athletes like you guys, and it's about the impact on the community, doing a shirt and being able to donate it, right?
has it been overblown from the media and the fans about kind of the windfall that was going to come, the financial billions that were coming your way? How much more is it about the engagement and just kind of what the opportunities you get from the NIL?
I think it's definitely more lean towards that. At the end of the day, it's people who are choosing to give us. It's not like we're stealing from them or that we're trying to manipulate them. It's like it's a business. You know, we're doing something for them in exchange. You know, we get paid. I don't really see how you can look at it other than that, especially when there's a lot of people who are doing that.
I think for me, just the opportunity. I mean, I do, like I said earlier, I'm not a very marketable player. I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram or Twitter compared to some of my teammates. So for me, it's just about helping the community, and I've been blessed that I've been able to do that. And use my platform to kind of lift others up in the community. But I think it's awesome. DJ being able to utilize his NIL and just so many guys on our team be able to put their personalities out there. And I think it's really cool for players to have that platform.
You use the phrase compound interest, right? So are you guys getting financial literacy classes? Is that something that they've kind of upped the game on now that decided to change?
Yeah, I think definitely you got to teach the taxes so guys aren't going out and blowing all their money and getting chased by the IRS later in the year. But no, I think they've done a great job. Last year, especially when it came out, it was a lot of financial literacy, investments, how far your money really will take you once you get taxes taken out, all this stuff. So I think they've done the football program, the athletic department's done a great job at teaching us financial literacy and how to use your money wisely and help I guess use it to benefit you later in life rather than just right now.
Some of the programs better offensive line, including yourself, have come through the last 4 or 5 years. You've had the opportunity to see some of them play early. Your thoughts on Josh and just the expectations that he will have, because he's the highest rated lineman ever to sign.
Yeah, all the freshman linemen I think have done a really good job. In the practices and stuff we've had, it's always an adjustment. O-line is tough because you're used to throwing around a 160-pound defensive end, and then it's like, okay, you got guys like DJ with 280 pounds and the fastest person on the field. So it's a really big change. But all of them have done, Dave, Kabika, Josh, they've all done really good jobs at reaching out to us too. And I made sure they knew, dude, you guys can pull me in. I don't do anything. And you just pull me in and just say, hey, I want to watch film. I love doing that, and I love teaching people and helping the young guys be able to grow anytime I can, because that's what Shane and Jake, that's what they did for me, and so that's the legacy I want to leave as well. But they've all done a phenomenal job at really buying in and stuff, and you kind of got to drop your ego a little bit when you come in, and you got the high rankings, and they've all done a great job about that, being like, okay, I know that I don't know everything, so I'm here to learn. And I think all of them have done a phenomenal job with that.
It's only natural, Alex, that because of the work we did, we're all going to ask you about how does he compare to Panay?
Yeah.
So, in these very early player-led practices where you're not actually hitting each other, he's not taking DJ to the ground, what have you. Do you see anything to where Josh could be like that, like this fall?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I hate comparing players because it's like, if you try, you just can never try to be somebody else, because then you're going to lose sight of who you are and what makes you special, because everybody does, Panay did unique things that I can never do, that so 99.9% of football players can never do, so it's like hard to compare anybody to him. But I just think for a young player, it's unfair to make comparisons and be like, oh, he's this guy. No, he's Josh Connerly, and he's going to do this. No, he's Kabika Rogers, he's going to do this. Dave Luley, like, there's just everybody is their own unique player, and they do things better than some, and not as good as others. But that's what makes players special, unique, to themselves. So I prefer if people didn't compare anyone to anyone as players, because it's just everybody's unique in their own way.
You brought up coaching these guys. When football, whenever it is done for you, is that something you want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking to whenever football is done, try to get high school. I think that's, after I saw what they do for recruiting, I don't know if I could fly out for the whole month of May and be away from home, but you know, I think definitely I want to try high school because I love, you know, recently I've been coaching a second grade flag football team. I know your sons are doing it too. But it's just so fun to, like, you know, be able to have an influence on you know, the youth and, you know, have kids who maybe don't like football a whole lot, but you get them to try it and you get them to have fun. And that's like the best feeling ever, is when you can, you know, get a kid interested in playing a sport. And so I think that's something that really brings me joy. And I love teaching and coaching. So anytime I can, you know, coach up the young guys, and, you know, it just helps me build my skills of coaching and making it make sense for them. So that's something I definitely want to do.
Fox 11 here in Los Angeles. Obviously, kids come to schools for all different reasons.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we don't have a starter right now. It's going to be competition. I mean, that's the name of the game in football. Every position is going to have to earn their role. So I think for us, it's, you know, every quarterback's done a great job. You know, like I said earlier, like, they're all unique in their own way. You know, Bo brings a tremendous amount of experience. You know, Ty's really explosive. Jay's got a phenomenal arm. They all have their own, like, unique traits that they're really good at. So it'll be fun to, you know, watch them lead the team, and you know, whichever one comes out as the starter.
There's a lot of excitement with the defense. Your head coach is defensive oriented, his past success. And just what excites you about this unit on that side of the ball going into the season?
I mean, honestly, the guys. We got Noah, we got Popo, we got Doris, like, keep going. You know, like, we got so many guys on that side of the ball. Like I said, who did come back and who didn't transfer, like that. We all stayed together. And just being able to, like, play with all those guys, I feel like there's not gonna be a greater feeling.
When Tosh opens up each meeting, then you call yourself a shot caller yet?
Tosh, my dog. I love Tosh. He's real chill.
Could you see?
So much is being expected of you, DJ, because obviously you had a tremendous spring game, and you had that speed. And obviously in your career you bounce back and forth, but you have like 4 career sacks in part because you were so much on tight end. What do you have by way of goals and expectations? Because Dan, after the spring game, said you could be one of the best edge rushers in the country.
And I feel like that's his job to do. Me is more so just build, how can I be the best teammate I can be? So my job is to shut down half of the field. That's what my job is, or to get my D gaps, C gaps, whatever gap I got. That's what my main focus is, being the best teammate I can be.
How often do you speak to your brother, DJ?
My big brother?
Yeah.
Like, pretty often. Yeah, we're really close. I talk to him for advice, or just to talk to him. But, yeah, we talk like a couple of times a week for sure.
Do you talk ball?
Yeah, we talk ball, we talk life. A lot of football stuff is like techniques, like pass rush moves, stuff like that, or body maintenance. You know, he's been in the league and stuff, so he kind of be like, hey, you know, you should make sure like you get look into getting like a Norman tape, because that was feel good for me. And we have similar body types, so I like, okay, stuff like that. But we can talk about anything.
Sure. What about deep specific like pass rushing techniques and advice now that this is going to be kind of your permanent role?
Yeah. So some main moves we got is like the chop rip, stab cut, stuff like that. But training with pass rush, part of it, the main thing is the get off. So that's something we do. We go in the sand and we do a lot of get off work.
How big of an influence has PJ been on your life?
I mean, if he didn't play football, I wouldn't be playing football. So I definitely appreciate him just for that alone. Other than that, I mean, he's been a great big brother to me. So he'd be somebody I can always go to for advice or whatever, whether it's football or non-football. So he's dope.
You mentioned advice. What's one piece of advice that he's given you?
Really, just don't be your own person, if that makes sense. Like, don't make football be your sole identity.
Did his experience at the pros and going undrafted and going the path that he has, did that play into your decision to come back?
Well, he went 7th round. He did go 7th round, but I mean, not necessarily. I just always had that kind of mindset where if I wasn't a projected 1st round, why would I leave? So that's kind of been my mentality. So, you know what I mean? If I'm at a place that I'm happy at, until that was my projection, I was like, I'm cool staying here until I've proven that.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, y'all.